So, how are you this afternoon? You ready to finish this beer and chit chat? Let me get, where are we here? Where's my lives? So I can see what chats. View channel. There we are, we're live. And that way I can see the chat in case you want to ask a question or anything. Whoops, turned my sound off. You don't want to listen to me. Repeat myself. Okay. Let's see, are we in here? Yes, we are actually. That's pretty good. Okay, if you've been following along, I have been painting this little deer, and I normally have them taped down to a piece of wood that I paint on, but I forgot to bring it, and it didn't quite fit in the suitcase, and I set it aside, and it just didn't make it here. I'm traveling at the moment. If you hear noises, there's a dog running around here, and I'm outside painting on a porch with woods behind me. So all I can see right now are woods. But let's see. Hoping to finish this today, if not in the morning. See what we can do here. I think I need to start going into my white gouache. What am I doing here? I prefer my Princeton brushes. They seem to hold more water and more paint. I'm gonna grab my 3 round. I do not have a full set of them yet. So some of my other brushes tend to be older, cheaper ones. Okay, it's time to come in here. Soften that up a bit on the edges. And this is just Winsor Newton Designer Gouache White. It's pretty much the only gouache I use. Sometimes I use a watercolor white, and sometimes I use this. And that's just, I really don't know why I choose which one over which. They both do about the same thing. I think the Designer Gouache is probably just a little bit more opaque, but you can see through both of them. Okay, you notice that I'm daubing this kind of in the direction that the lip goes. This is the mouth, and the lip kind of curves up here. So I want to this is not fur as much as it's the white area. I think there's fur on it, but you can't really see it too well around the face. Now, areas that I'm painting the first layer of this on, tend to be a little more transparent than opaque, although it's still definitely classified as opaque. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm going in the right direction here. Adding the white where I would like it. A lot of people ask why don't I use the white of the paper. Sometimes I do. If I am painting for an exhibition or a juried competition, I most often tend to paint more opaque, more transparent watercolor. I also tend to paint with just the watercolor, although I have before. But it just, for the competition's sake, it just makes it easier. Also, I'm using, for those that are just joining and haven't been following along, I'm using a reference photo of this deer from a Facebook group called Free Reference Photos for Artists. And one of the requirements when you use their photos is that you don't share the photographer's photos on anywhere without the photographer's express permission. I can share the art. Oop, here's the puppy. He's a Shepherd Lab mix that I'm watching for the next week and a half. And he pops out here back and forth. What was I saying? The reference photos. I am able to show my work, sell my work created from these photos. I can choose to give credit or not. I usually do. I can paint the reference photos as is or create my own compositions and things from them. It doesn't matter. What I use them for is up to me, and I can sell my artwork from them. It's all good. Whoops. Are you needing some attention? The, go lay down. Go lay down. No. Yes, I don't know if you can see him or not, but he's getting very determined for my attention right now. I think he wants a T-R-E-A-T, but we're not doing that right now. No, you can wait just a little while, I promise. He's a cutie pie. But, and he gave up and ran off. Okay, the reference photos. I can share the finished artwork with you, but I cannot share the reference photo with you. You can go to their website or their Facebook group, and it is free for you to download and use. The photographer for this one is Linda McMillan, and just do a search in the group for deer. A lot of them will pop up. You choose the ones you want to paint. Like I said, this one's from Linda McMillan. If you want to paint the exact deer, you're welcome to. Okay, I want to give the illusion here of the light hitting that spot. Need a little more light. Let's go in the direction of the fur here a little bit. I'm using a 3.0. It's a little thick for fur, but when it dries, I think it's going to be fine. I need more white up here around the eye. Yes, I know I'm holding my paper down. Let's see. I want to give the illusion here that that eye is coming out from and hovering. The brow is coming out and hovering. Whoops, he's back again. And he's off smelling something. There we go. I like that. Let's add some right down here. Add some fur over here. Sorry about that. Probably couldn't even hear that. Give a little depth here with some highlights to the little antler. There we go. How about this antler? sounds like it's raining, but it's not. It's the leaves dropping off the trees. I'm in Franklin, Tennessee right now. And the trees have turned orange and yellow and red. Okay, we have some white over here. There we go, I like that. Let's see, when coming up and around the eye here, let's do some highlight here to kind of make it look like we're doing something there. There we go. And Archer, you're okay, buddy. We'll go walking again later. He's already had his walk. He's just wanting attention right now. Okay, up here around the eye, I think I do want to curve up. Let's see. There, that looks good. Okay. I am going to, oh, the neighbor's dog sees him. It's the only bad thing about painting outside, but I love being outside. It's where I do a lot of my paintings. I think I'm gonna do some burnt sienna up in here. Now my watercolor palette, for those who are just joining in, is Winsor & Newton. I don't choose the colors based on their names. I know a few of them, but most of them I don't even know their names too. And what I do is I get a few blues, a few greens. I'm sorry, not greens. I really don't even like the green. I used that for a, what was that? A tutorial class that I took. And they required us to have it. But I like a few blues, a few reds, a few yellows, and a few neutrals. And then my white gouache or white watercolor, depending on what you're using. Let's see. This looks a little harsh here. Let's soften it up. You hear that woodpecker in the background? Okay, now what you're going to see is soon I will be doing a water wash, and I do that to kind of create a little extra realism and to kind of just bring the paints together. It just adds to the realism. This mouth needs, we've lost our little grin. Oh, there we are. Okay, that's a little more so than I wanted. Throw in a little of the there we go. Let's see. If you're watching and you have any questions, feel free to ask. I only have a couple of people watching right now, but that's okay. I fully understand this is impromptu. Not everybody's able to just drop what they're doing and stop in. Okay, and most of this I'm putting on light enough. It's gonna mainly just give texture. I love the texture this gives. Okay. You hear him in the background wanting attention. He'll be all right. I'm gonna define this a little more. Using, what is this, sepia for this part. Okay, give a little bit of shading, just using a mixture of neutrals together here. Now, I'm not sure how this channel is gonna, I'm just kind of doing these lives between now and the first of the year just to kind of see where it takes me. I'm not sure the direction I want to take. I'm open to suggestions. If y'all want painting or if you'd rather have vlogs or whatnot. Let's see here. If you just want tips. But I plan after the first of the year to have a direction set and some goals in place and start painting. I'm hoping weekly. I'll let you know the closer it gets. We will see. But I'd love to spend more time with my followers, and it seems to be right now that lives are the way to do it. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna get a bigger brush here. I think I'm gonna go with my little guy here. Throw in some more sepia. Throw in a little blue to darken it up, a little red. Get some darker color here. You see how that just kind of, this brush works great for fur. Now I will be probably popping back in 1 or 2 more times today before this painting is finished. Try not to get those little curly cues. That doesn't fall right. Okay, let's see. There's some shading here. There's some shading here. Encourage you to head over to that group, Free Reference Photos for Artists. Doesn't matter what you like to paint. They have images for everything. Okay. If you want to paint a cat, you can paint a cat. If you want to still life, you can do still life. They have everything but people's faces. And I'm pretty sure that's just for security's sake. Okay. There we go. I'm using my reference photo, but I'm not painting it exactly. I'm giving more of an illusion of detail. That's what I prefer to do in my artwork. See if I can darken this up a bit. There we go. A little darker area right here. Now I mix my blacks. You can watch yesterday's live. For that, I'm going to leave them up for a little bit. Eventually, these lives will probably not go to my channel. I'm just thinking this through. It's not definite yet. But they will probably be reserved for my Patreon supporters and people who have purchased my artwork as a reward. I think that looks right. Okay. Up here, let's let this go. Let's see, where oh where? Here we go. A flat brush. Now don't get overly crazy about needing to know brands or colors. Once you get yourself in a box, it's hard to get out of that box. This allows for more free flow. Okay. All right, I'm going to, what did I want to do? Oh, the ears. I think I'm just going to use some of what I already have here. A little more water. This is not the best brush, but it will do the trick. Just create sort of a dip there so that it looks like the ear comes in. There we go. Hey boy, it's okay. We'll go play in a little bit. Let's see here. I think I want a little more. Where's my 555? I'm not sure what to call that. It's 5-0. Let's do a little bit more on the eye here. These eyes take a lot of layers to get a nice black. You don't want to put it all down at once. You don't want just a flat eye. There we go. I think we're starting to... There we are. See, you could use... Let's not forget these lashes. This little guy. Deer have these adorable little lashes. I'll fix that up in a little bit. I don't like the way that one went down. Let's turn this one this way. There we go. You hear that little bird? I think it's sounds like maybe a blue jay. Let's see, we have a few little ones here. What do we got over here? Okay, I'm not going to add that until... I'm not going to add the whiskers until after my water wash. There we go. I think I like that a little better. The eyelashes are not so pronounced here. I think I'll go back and after that dries, do a little bit there. Okay. As for the background, I have some green here. It's mixed from yesterday. Now, I rarely ever mix enough of one color for a whole painting. I like things to vary. But I think what I want to do is add a little blue in there to give this a darker texture. Let's do that. Then I'll come back later got to keep in mind when you paint with watercolor that one layer of one color and another layer of another color will actually give you quite a bit of depth rather than just mixing it. So rather than mixing blue and yellow to get a brighter green here, I'm going to do a layer of blue and then do, that bird is hollering. I'll do another layer of yellow probably later. Vary it up so this background looks a little different. But you'll see it still brings out, I did various colors in the bottom, a few layers, the foundation layers, lots of yellow. I think I used transparent yellow and whatever else I have there. I used several yellows. Okay. I don't want it too dark. There we go. I'm just doing a little glaze here in this blue, and I will come back with another color in a little while. Might even do some red in some spots. Okay, I do know I am going to add that's interesting. I think, is that a squirrel or a bird? Not sure. Okay, I am going to add some blue elements here to kind of give edges, one, a darker color, two, the illusion that there are trees and bushes back there. But not specific trees or anything, just way off in the distance. Kind of like if you took your camera and took a picture focused just on this. Okay, this should be, no, not dry enough yet. Let's go over here. I want to add some browns and some, actually I want to add some burnt sienna. Give some color to this tree. A little bit on the bark here. Let's see, a little bit darker there. Come on up here. No, I'm not going to keep all this. I will come back through. But I do want some brown right there. I just don't want it the exact as my deer. Like I said, I will come back and I just want to keep the direction of the bark. I'll probably come back with some gouache. Need to make sure I have a good supply of that. I've been traveling. I need to check my gouache supply before I run out. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is let this dry completely. And when it dries, I'm just going to get some clean water and probably just a big flat brush like this. And I'm just going to run the water over the whole thing and do a water wash. I need to wait for it to be 100% dry before I do that. And it'll probably be later today before I get to come back out here and finish this painting because that water wash is going to need to completely dry. And then we'll get to start adding in some details to this painting. You know what? I don't like that. Let's add some blue. Get one of the yellows there. Touch of red. There we go. I might do a little bit. There we go. I just want to bring, when we're done, you're not going to be able to see this, but I do want to bring a hint of the green into the bark. Okay. Well, I'll be back. Probably it's going to take at least 4 hours for this to dry, and then a water wash, and that to dry completely. So I'll be back probably, do y'all still have what we called supper time when I was growing up? Which is like an early dinner. So I will come back and we'll be ready to finish off the details and get this painting done. If I'll stop seeing some things. Yes, I know that's green, but I want some shade there. There we go. All right, now I'm going to stop. We'll let that dry. A little too much water right there. We'll let that dry. And I'll be back this evening with you guys. Y'all have a good afternoon.